ridiculous. I don't really know what to say because I'm not a car journalist, but I'm a car enthusiast, and we were asked to make a film on what we thought was the best hot hatch from the 1990s. So we had a good long think about it and came up with the VR6. I was actually really obsessed with the VR6 when I was a kid. I don't know why, because they are a little bit unbalanced looking and fat around the edges, and the wheels look a bit small, but I thought they were really cool, and the fact that they stuck a massive V6 engine in it just made it one of the smartest hatchbacks, for me anyway. That was the car that I always had on my wall. So why did we choose the VR6 when there are a whole host of other, and on paper probably better cars to choose from? It's a good question, one that's probably better explained after you've driven it. This is actually the first time I've driven one of these, despite the fact I was such a massive fan of them when I was a kid. I don't think they're the best looking hot hatch, in my opinion, and they're definitely not the quickest or the fastest. But there's just something really refined about them, and balanced, and I think understated. The Mark III GTI, and the Mark IV for that matter, were pretty underwhelming cars. So in the mid-90s, VW gave their customers something bigger and better to play with. Something to try and claw back their title of the hot hatch legend, ingrained by the Mark I Golf. They gave us the VR6. Should we look at the engine? That is why Shall I open it again? For me, this is definitely the reason why the car was so cool when I was growing up, because I just thought that was a ludicrous engine to stick in a hatchback. Although the big block up front and increased power is very clever engineering by VW, the VR6 is still overlooked when you consider the other hatchbacks from the era. The fast Fords, the nifty Peugeots and the really well-built Nissan almost always rate above the Golf, but driving it today, I'm not sure if they should. For me, this is such an underrated car, and it's probably one of the definitions of a sleeper. It's fast without being erratic and leery like a lot of the other hot hatches from the 90s. It's really refined without being too boring, and it's really hot but without really knowing it. I think with this low-end acceleration and six-cylinder grunt, this Golf is an absolute hero of 1990s hot hatches, and sometimes there's no real rationale as to why you do or don't like a car. But I love this thing. I just think it's awesome. And that's why I said I'm not a car journalist, because I don't think that technical specs and 0 to 60s really matter. It is what it is. I just wish it was a manual. And I can't remember what I was going to say next. What was I meant to say next?